Morning, everybody. I'll just very quickly run through a couple of research projects that we're involved in here at the centre. If you want to know about some of the stuff we do, we've got a bunch of publications just on the side there. Andy will talk about one of those projects in more detail. I'm going to talk about two things: careers and enterprise and entrepreneurship education. The first project, some research into careers. We ran an event back in September. We had an audience much like yourselves over at our Strand offices. And I somewhat cheekily, when we asked people to register to come to the event, I asked them three really quick questions to kind of set the scene. And these kind of tell the story really about what this project is and why we're doing it. So the first question was, which one word describes current careers services? And that's what that audience put. Fragmented, inadequate, chaotic, inconsistent, patchy, confused, threatened. So there's a lot of fear at the moment around careers services. Next question was, which one word describes what career services of the future should be like? And the words that came up were comprehensive, accessible, innovative, universal, bespoke, integrated, personalised. So quite different from where we are now. So the last question was, what one word describes how we should get there? And people's responses were collaboration, partnership, innovation, quickly, commitment, and research, etc., etc. So there you can see kind of the need as we see it, which is something around career services that needs doing. A bit of detail of the project, which we're calling Careers 2020. We're going to be partnering with the University of Derby, who are real experts in this field. We're focusing on school-based rather than anything else, and that's for reasons of scope, but also reasons of where we think the real need is. And we're also starting with a blank canvas, asking what ideally career services should or could be like, rather than kind of where we are now. Hopefully we can kind of work with all the relevant stakeholders and explore different options for the future for getting to that kind of bright future for 2020. And we also want to, instead of just producing a research report to sit here in London, we want to produce kind of accessible one-pagers and other kind of more inviting outputs for those key people, teachers, head teachers and parents. So that's that project. A little bit of interaction if you could grab your voting pads again. So which statement best describes how all of you feel about career services? Always worked perfectly and are getting even better. Never quite fit the bill, but seems to be on the right track now. We're finally starting to function, but are all over the place now, or going to hell in a handcart. Okay. Well, it's tough on a Monday morning, clearly. I think that answers that nicely. Go to hell in a handcart. Okay, next project, enterprise and entrepreneurship. We're calling that Train to Thrive. Our interim report is over there. Three really simple questions. What is it? What impact does it have? How should it be delivered? It's a really big research project for us. We're working with the Education Employers Task Force. University of Warwick are involved. That's our research approach. You don't need to see the detail, but let's just say it's big, it's multi-methodology, it's complex. We're nearing the end of phase 1. We're going into some new research in phase 2. 5 kind of key things that have emerged so far. When you're thinking about enterprise and entrepreneurship education, definitions really do matter. People use exactly the same words to mean completely different things. Also, the levels of participation and the impact that such activities have seems to vary a hell of a lot as well. And that impact can't be taken for granted. External engagement, especially use involving employers, really seems to matter and doesn't always seem to take place. And there's many people who work in education who really don't value enterprise and entrepreneurship education. Either they haven't heard of it, or if they have, they don't believe it. So, how do you all feel about enterprise and entrepreneurship education? We've got 4 options there. 1, it's a distraction. You shouldn't try to teach it. 2, it's important but people have other teaching priorities. 3, there's already enough good practice for those who care. And 4, it's vital and should be given more support. So, it's vital and should be given more support. Interesting, but again, you can see there's quite a range of opinion. As I said, our kind of draft publication, just from our kind of emerging insights from phase 1, is over there. Please help yourselves, and over to the main event, and Farm from BT.